Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Gabo the Shaman, and today we are talking about what happens when we have Mars placed in the second house in Taurus for Aries Ascendant. And Mars is the Lagnesha, meaning the Ascendant Lord of the Aries chart. So we're looking at the Lagnesha in the second house and what that represents. So let's jump on into it. Before we move any further, though, please go to my website, gebodeshaman.com. You can find the links down below in the description and purchase a astrology reading. You can also purchase a astrology certification course from me. Those things, if you want to learn more about those, you can click the links below and it'll take you right there. All right. So let's jump into it's Mars in the second house in Taurus. All right, so this is a lot of information to cover, you know. So I find it's good to just like begin slowly and with each step, with each like thing. So we have Mars, we have the second house, we have Taurus. So let's get into it. So what is Mars? Mars is the planet of it's the planet of war. It's the warrior. It is the person who goes out into war. It's very masculine energy. It's very fiery, very hot. And so Mars is about just going out and taking action and accomplishing things and moving forward, and it's got a lot of energy, a lot of heat, a lot of energy to move forward, get goals accomplished and things like that. So it's really a hot planet, but it's also important to remember that Mars is very sharp, and it's pokey. It's like a sword. It's very sharp, very much stings anywhere that Mars is placed. It kind of hurts that house. Kind of, damages that house or the planets that are next to it within certain degrees. And so with Mars, it's very much like sharp, and like if you could imagine a ball, Mars, but then it has a bunch of spikes on it, very spiky, very sharp, very uncomfortable, it stings, all that stuff. And so, while Mars has warrior energy, it is the planet of, just taking action, competition, sports, physical activity, physical fitness, things like that. It is that, but it's also about other things like the house, like your house, your real estate, things like that. And now we'll talk about Taurus and the second house. So Taurus and the second house are basically similar energies. Taurus is the second sign of the zodiac, and it pertains to the second house. So essentially, we have very similar energies. So Taurus and the second house are about, second house is about long-term savings. It's about just the money that you saved. It's about your inheritance. It's second house is about your family. It's about like kind of your values, your you know, the things that you value, whether that be material possessions or knowing the difference between right and wrong and all that stuff, as well as material possessions, luxuries, goods, things like that. Like if you have it's luxury items. So if you have like a really antique jewelry or something like that, something of long-term value. There's quick value, like some brand has a new product, like a t-shirt or a purse or whatever. But then there's like long-term value, like gold and silver, and like that put into jewelry will last a long time. And so this is Taurus energy. Taurus is all about finances. It's about luxury items. Taurus is very much sensual, meaning that it loves the senses, whether that's smell, touch, taste, hearing, sight, whatever it is, it just loves that, whether it's a beautiful painting or beautiful music or, like really well made food, or like, just luxury things in life. Really, that stuff Taurus loves. And Taurus is ruled by Venus. So, second house also pertains to the mouth and the neck. And so, and the throat as well. And it is about art, beauty, and things like that. And so what we have here, when we have this placement with Taurus in the second house with Mars, someone could, with this placement, really, as far as like physical stuff goes, you might have a lot of like sore throats, because remember, Mars is kind of inflaming and agitating that. It's hot, it's Agni. And so, you can have a lot of sore throats and things like that with this placement. And you're probably going to have a family member, maybe not your mom or your dad, but maybe like an uncle or something like that that's involved in the military. This means that your family is very like very much about like doing the right thing, like very much like warriors and things like that. Like you might have a lot of masculine energy in your family. Maybe you have more guys in your family than you do women. Things like that. you know and so you could even have competition within your family, like you competing with your family, or your family competing against each other, or your family competing against you. Your family is going to be very physical, very like whether that's with sports, with construction, with things like that. Like your family could also be construction workers as well, because Mars is about real estate as well. So and then we have other qualities of this, which could be, Mars could be, with Mars and Taurus, it's, let me think here. It is about, so with your savings, with your, Taurus is long-term savings and your long-term money, inheritances, and things like that. With Mars here, it tends to be a very active house. So you could burn through a lot of money. You got to be careful with your savings. Be very careful with that. Like, because, you could get scammed, you could get, stolen from, and things like that. Mars, let's not forget, Mars is a malefic planet. It brings that kind of energy, like stealing and scams and things like that. So just be careful with your wealth. Put it in a very safe place. You might want to invest in like precious metals, because that's less likely to get stolen, unless somebody like goes and robs your safe deposit box or something like that. But yeah, also another thing on the flip side, this shows a lot of protection for your family. It shows you're very protective over your family, and you want to guard them, whether that's your siblings or whether that's somebody else, your parents, your siblings, your children. Although children is more for fifth house things. But yeah, second house is more your family of origin. And so, yeah, with this placement here, it's very, it's like heat and energy and competition, things like that. So another thing with this placement is like where Mars is sitting in your chart. It's aspecting the fourth house. It's aspecting the 8th house and 9th house. So it's aspecting the 3rd from itself, the 7th from itself, and the 8th house. So that would be, if Mars is in the 2nd, that'd be the 4th house, the 8th house, and the 9th house. So with the 4th house aspect here, that means that your mother, you would have to look at where the moon is placed, because if they have any conjunction or opposition or aspect to each other, that could mean that Mars has a effect upon your mother. Also, 2nd house, I forgot to mention this, is nourishment of the mother, gains from the mother. So, this is the values and beliefs and things like that you got from your mother, about beliefs about yourself, beliefs about the world, things like that. So, and it's the nourishment that you got from your mother as well, the gains of your mother, because it's the 11th house from the 4th house. So it's essentially, so with Mars here, that tends to aggravate that. That tends to, like, cause arguments with your mother, or that tends to give, like, where your mother abuses you and things like that. Mars can be a sign of abuse and trauma and things like that, so that may be the case. Again, all of this depends on, the planets, where the planets are placed in your chart. I would strongly encourage you to look at where your moon and Venus are placed in your chart, because that'll give you some more context, some more clues. Like, if you had your moon and Venus in the 9th house, the 9th house is the house of luck, so you would probably have a better relationship with your mom with that placement. Things like that, so things to be aware of. And then we have, we have the, oh yeah, so another thing with the 4th house is that you can make very good money from real estate. So 4th house is real estate. Mars is real estate, so that goes with that. And with Mars aspecting this 4th house, the money that you make with real estate can, that will be supporting you in the long term, so it'll go into the 2nd house. And Mars is 11th from the 2nd house. Mars is 11th from the 4th house, so that means gains of real estate as well. So real estate would be really good for you. And then what's next? The 8th house. So Mars aspecting the 8th house, that tends to give more malefic results. However, it really depends upon if you had Jupiter or if you had Saturn in the 8th house, that would be really good planets to have there. Saturn in the 8th house slows down the shakiness of the 8th house. So the 8th house is major gains and major losses and things like that. And Saturn, if you had Saturn there, that would Saturn is very slow, so that would kind of stabilize that. And then as far as the 9th house, Mars aspecting the 9th house, that's a great position. That gives you a passion for spirituality, passion for higher learning, passion for growth, knowledge, things like that. It's passion for, spirituality, higher learning, philosophy, higher knowledge, and things like that. So yeah, those are all great aspects to this placement. And then we'll circle back to Taurus. So, Mars, it's kind of conflicting energy. Venus wants luxury. Venus wants in Taurus, because Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus wants luxury, finer things, nice things. She wants a lot of money, a lot of opulence, a lot of, sensory pleasures. And so Mars is I don't need that stuff. I'd rather go in the battlefield and fight and conquer and succeed and things like that. So this could make you very good with business too. Mars in the 2nd house could be a drive, a competitive drive to earn money, to earn savings. However, as I said, like, you might run into just problems. Car breaks down. House burns. You know, I'm not wishing that on anyone. But, you'll have these events, this sudden events that just come and drain the savings. Your long-term savings gets drained through that. However, also, you have the courage to fight through that, to, work as hard as you can, to work as hard as it takes to build back up your savings. So, you know, but that, that effect of Mars on the savings is going to be pretty hard. As well as, family, having Mars in the second house is kind of a hard thing, because also second house is like your own personality, your own, like, I won't say personality, but just resources and environment. The environment around you is second house, because what is it? It pertains to the senses. What do you sense? You sense the things around you. So there might be enemies around you too. Like within your family, you might have a lot of family drama, quarrels, contention, things like that. Again, not wishing that on anyone, but it's just part of this, this placement. Let's see here. What else? But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, is, what I wanted to tell you. Now, another thing about Mars is your Lagnesha, meaning that it is the planetary ruler of the Ascendant, of the first house. So what does that mean? It does have a effect on your dharma, your what you're meant to do in this world. It has an effect on that. So, like I said, the epitome of Mars' second house is you're fighting for your wealth, your status, your opulence. You're fighting to give yourself the good things in life, the luxuries in life. And so, whether that comes by stealing things, by working hard at business or things like that. This is the thing with this Taurus, Mars and Taurus, is like, you're just going to be fighting for the things that you really want most and value most. And so this can make someone fight for their family, fight for their, for the love of their mother. If you have siblings, you might fight with them. Things like that. So, as the Lagnesha, your life is going to revolve around second house matters. And Taurus matters. Family. You'll have to deal with family. Also, second house being your inheritance. You may have to fight for your inheritance with your family, your brothers and sisters, or, aunts and uncles, family. So, and then, what's it called? Also, this shows me that you would be great in finance. You could be like a stockbroker, financial planner, investor, things like that. Also, as I said earlier, with making money in real estate, things like that. And yeah, I mean, this is a great this is a pretty good placement overall. You know, there are a lot of good things about it. So, yeah, just check out where your Venus and Moon are placed as well, and that'll give you a good hint on what this house is like. Um, again, Venus is the ruler of the second house, Moon is the ruler of the fourth house. And why I say look at your moon placement as well is to see how well you'll do with real estate and how well your relationship with your mother will be. So, with that, I will go ahead and close this out. So, if you are interested in getting a reading with me, then you can go to gebodeshaman.com, purchase an astrology reading there. I also have my astrology certification course available. And with that, when you purchase that course, you'll take my test for certification, and then you will, you'll basically get a free site, a free website with that. So, because I do design websites, so I will design you your very own website with that, and you can advertise with that, post links on your social media, or give them to friends and family so that you can do astrology readings for them and get paid. So, yeah, as well as I offer a bunch of other services, products, courses, all that good stuff. Right over here, you can see them, and my Qigong courses and services. And yeah, I mean, so go ahead and subscribe, like, click that all button for notifications. And go ahead and check out my website, gebodeshaman.com. Alright, guys. So, we will see you next time. Peace. See ya.